Puffies, I'm Pufallo and welcome to my channel if you're new. If you're not, then welcome back. So before this video starts, I want to put a content warning because there's cussing, mentions of pedophilia and child grooming, one small section about eating disorders, and one tiny mention of suicide in this video. Also, before this video starts, I need to make this dash sound because I told Dev that I would, so Dev, that one's for you. As you know, going by the title of the video, my Ed's crush, who we'll call Flame, sent dick pics to my now current Ed's best friend, who we'll call Raven. Starting in the very beginning, I met Flame on Wilbursood's old temporary Minecraft server. The first day I was in the server, I was getting wood, and then Flame was near me, and I suck at video games, so a spider attacked me and I died. Flame grabbed my stuff and gave it back. I said thank you, and we went our separate ways. Later, I got a message from Flame asking if we could be friends. My introverted self hesitated but said yes. We met back at the spawn and started to build a house together. He asked if I have Discord, so we add each other and we call in there. He's shy, so for a while he stayed muted until he got tired of typing in the chat. Sometime within the first few weeks of knowing him, I found his Twitch channel and decided to watch one of his streams. That was also around the time when we would jokingly flirt on Twitter, like at one point he called me pretty. He also tagged me in a random post of Mordecai from Regular Show and Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony making out. And I jokingly said, "Oh my god, you and me /J." And then he sent a picture of a surprise cartoon turtle from a show. Anyways, a few streams later, Flame was playing a game with one of his friends, and in his chat was Raven. Raven and I were annoying Flame by moaning about water and saying that it's hot. Raven then messages me on Twitch and asks if I want to join a Discord server of theirs that has Flame and a bunch of friends in it. I agree, and then I see that Raven is in a VC, so I joined. They then introduce themselves and say that they have ADHD, so they might be really hyper sometimes, and I say that's okay and I get it. We start talking every day, and every now and then Flame would join the VC, but it was mostly just me and Raven, and then every now and then like some other friends. So now that we have that background context, let's just skip ahead to where this drama starts. You know, we don't want to just talk about the boring bits. So Raven knew that I liked Flame, and Raven was happy for me because they liked Flame's friend that I mentioned earlier. But one day Raven started spamming my DMs asking for help because he sent them borderline nudes of him in a maid outfit. We had no idea that Flame cross-dresses, so we were super surprised. Flame had actually told Raven to keep it a secret, but oops, now it's not, I guess. One day Flame and Raven were in a call in DMs, and Flame is a faceless content creator, so he just has his hand cam on. So it's just a camera like from on the top of his monitor pointing down towards his keyboard and mouse. Flame then somehow showed his dick, and Raven got super uncomfortable and tries to find an excuse to leave. Things that Flame had said weird things before, like making sexual comments about his friend's sister. We all decided to block Flame and stop talking to him. A couple months later, Raven and I find this guy named Divvy. Divvy was streaming Osu, and we were just hanging out in his chat. We joined a server and add him on Discord. He joins the server that Raven invited me to, and then through Divvy, we meet this guy who we'll call Stairs. Stairs was 18, almost 19 when I met him, and he lived somewhere in Bulgaria. So Stairs was dating his 15-year-old ex at the time. According to him, it was perfectly legal because the age of consent in Bulgaria is 14. He was in a totally toxic relationship. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but his ex was totally controlling and was constantly manipulating him by threatening to kill herself. This should have been a red flag, but while he was still with his ex, he tells me that he has feelings for me, and when he leaves his ex, he wants to date me, and he just always told me that he loved me. I can't say no to people, and this made me slightly uncomfortable, but I was like, yeah, When I'm in situations like these, I tend to force myself to like people back until I've rewired my brain to like them. But eventually his ex started to say that she's single, so Stairs takes it as a non-confrontational way of saying that they've broken up. On top of him basically cheating on his girlfriend for me, I met him by him making Raven uncomfortable and trying to do a weird sexual roleplay with them. So there were so many red flags that I just tried to ignore. But during all that between me and Stairs, Raven was getting more and more upset about me and Stairs, which I get, but I struggled with taking sides. I was basically backstabbing them both, which I regret, but they were also both manipulating me. Raven was going out of line, not minding their business, and saying that he's a liar and was saying untrue things about him, but also Stairs was basically grooming me, but saying it was fine because it was legal in Bulgaria. When one of them wasn't there, I would agree with the others. If I was with Stairs, I would agree that Raven is a bad person for being an inconvenience between me and him, but when I was with Raven, I was agreeing with them, saying that Stairs is a pedophile and a child groomer. But Raven also did and said a few things for attention. For example, they said that they were going to look into how to help me and what not to do or say around me because of my eating disorder, since they don't know what it's like. And I kid you not, a few days later, they were DMing me while I was just like doing my makeup, saying that they're struggling to eat and that they're anorexic and that they're on call with friends and they're helping them eat. Like, first of all, why are they telling me this? And second of all, you don't just magically have an eating disorder overnight. It's a slow process that proceeds to get worse and worse through time, not deciding one day that you're anorexic now. You don't just wake up and go, hey, I want to have an eating disorder now, so look at that, guys. And third of all, if they know that I've been dealing with my own eating disorder, what do they expect me to say? I'm not going to be a hypocrite and be like, oh, don't worry, it's just food, you can do this. So what do they want from me? Anyways, Raven had yet again started an argument between us and Stairs, and at one point they made a fake account and said that account was my boyfriend, which I did not agree to doing that. Stairs was confused but believed Raven. During our final argument, I confessed to Stairs that the whole thing was a lie and that Raven had lied to him. And Debbie somehow got dragged into this and said that I should block Raven because Raven made me block Stairs and was talking shit about him. So I listened to Debbie and blocked Raven and unblocked Stairs. Stairs and I soon started dating not too long after he left his ex, and we were calling every day with my best friend Cake. Shout out to you if you're watching this, Cake, I love you. Every now and then he said stupid things that would bother me for weeks at a time. But if he wasn't being a dumbass, then he was actually really nice and supportive. Sometimes he just said really unnecessary things. Like when I was on call with him and Cake, he asked Cake if they could correctly pronounce something because Cake has a slight speech impediment, and that just totally embarrassed Cake by pointing it out. Another example was when Cake and I were talking about witchcraft, and this was before I started practicing, so I was talking about how excited I was to be able to practice witchcraft and that I'm really excited about my Wicca journey. And Stairs really had the audacity to disrespect that and asked if it was even real. Asking if it's real isn't too bad because cartoons demonize it and make it about green people with giant noses who have flying brooms and eat kids. I explained to him that's not how it actually works, and then he asked if it's scientifically proven to exist. That's just rude. He was trying to tell me that my practices and religion isn't real. That's highly offensive. How would he like it if I were to disrespect his religion? I have nothing against other religions at all, as I've experimented with Satanism, Christianity, and being an atheist, even though Satanism and atheism slightly overlap. Stairs was also very stubborn. He kept having horny thoughts and dreams about me, so he was going to quote-unquote make himself asexual, as I've tried explaining to him multiple times that asexuality is natural and you can't just force yourself to become asexual. You can only suppress your thoughts and feelings until you've reached your neuroplasticity once. He would start arguments so often saying that he can become asexual. The thought about him not having those thoughts about me anymore is nice, but labeling himself as asexual is sort of invalidating. I myself am asexual, and him saying that he can just become asexual is offensive and wrong. Anyways, you could be thinking, how is your relationship ruined by Raven? Stairs always brought up things that Raven said about us, and they ended up messaging all of his friends saying that he's a pedophile, so his friends turned against him, and everyone was calling him pedophile because that's the cold hard truth. He had known that my mental health had been going on a decline, and after all that, he started to as well, but then he stopped talking to me so he can focus on himself, which only caused me to feel alone and isolated, but I dealt with it anyways. On our exact 3 months together, he broke up with me because of everyone, even his university friends, calling him a pedophile. I honestly thought that our breakup was because of me, because a few days before we broke up, I actually manifested that I would be broken up with, and what happened? He broke up with me. I wasn't entirely happy about our breakup, but I also wasn't unhappy about it. He broke up with me, but then said that he still loved me, and that doesn't stop him from saying that he loves me, and that's just so fucking painful. Like, just imagine someone saying, hey, I'm a pedophile, we can't date anymore, but I still love you, teehee. Like, what the hell is that? So, a few days after our breakup, I ended up blocking him, and now I'm working on moving on. Well, there's that story. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time, and let me know if I should do another one. Have a lovely day or night. Bye!
All we got is a bag in the backseat, and it's love we share, not shabby at all. But the fact is we moving too fast, but the thought passed me when I got lost inside of your eyes. Cliche to say, but too true. Picking up Danny's, y'all always wanted a dandy man, you did.